Hello lovelies, today I'm sharing different ways to shop your closet to emulate the classic and timeless Carolyn Bessette Kennedy style, which is elegant. It's still so relevant today. It feels like it could have happened yesterday. I've covered her style on my channel before, but thought it was the perfect time to revisit it because not only do we see every generation on TikTok and Instagram and all the platforms talking about her style, year in and year out, but also there's like a new movie coming out, American Love Story, which by the way has been very criticized. Ironically, it appears that they haven't quite nailed the fashion elements, and Carolyn really didn't do interviews, either written or spoken, or shared much of her thoughts or thinking. The only way she really communicated with the world was through her fashion, and that's how we all came to know her. So to not nail that as part of the movie has felt like a big miss. I grew up watching her style and always being endlessly fascinated by it, and let me know if you can relate, but even to date, anytime I see a pencil skirt or a sleeveless black turtleneck or even oval sunglasses, it always reminds me of her look. And at the end of the video, I'll share 3 distinct outfits that you can easily recreate today from items already in your closet. By the way, I'm Ziba and I'm so happy you're here. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos on how to have a classic wardrobe, incorporate wearable trends, and develop amazing personal style. Carolyn's overall silhouette was very minimal, structured, or tailored. Not necessarily body hugging, but there wasn't anything overtly ornate or too fussy or overwhelming, like drowning in fabric, super baggy, those kinds of things. You saw a lot of tailoring and just that very coveted 90s minimalism that was inherent of Calvin Klein, where she actually worked, and very much a thing of the 90s. In terms of colors, I don't think there was a neutral that she didn't like. We saw a lot of camels, chocolate brown, blacks, whites, beige. Every now and again, you would see either like a print. We're working with like maybe 30 pictures total here throughout history. And occasionally you would see her in a leopard print coat or maybe like a statement red tweed coat that is so classic. I love this look so much. But I think if anything, the way that she used color the most was by popping on some red lipstick to finish off an outfit, which is so iconic. In terms of textures, that's really where a lot of the emphasis went. There's a lot of satin, silk, poplin crisp shirts, denim, cashmere, wool. I think this is a testament to one of the very few one-liners she gave to Glamour magazine that talked about how she didn't feel comfortable in anything that was too ornate and that she much preferred more streamlined minimalist look with blazers, and I'm trying to emulate this here with blazers, jeans, and just sleek line. We touched upon her red lipstick, but overall her makeup was so simple and almost undetectable. Never really saw any kind of smoky eye, maybe just like a layer of mascara every now and again. If she was wearing blush, it was extremely subtle. It was really like a well-defined lip, either with like gloss or red lipstick. That was kind of it. Let's go right into accessories, because I think this is where her style really shone, and it kind of made all those simple pieces that you'll see really come to life. Some of the most iconic accessories that she loved wearing were either oval sunglasses or just like a really dark lens. It felt very glamorous, beautiful contrast with like her blonde hair, for example. Bags, the one that is pictured time and time again is the Hermes Birkin 40 that was just a little bit tattered, used, pretty stuffed, wide open. And one of the criticisms of the film was actually that in one of the stills of the movie, the actress is carrying the Birkin 40, but it looks like empty and it looks a little bit too polished and, you know, like it hasn't been used. And you could just tell that Carolyn was really about like wearing her clothes time and time again and being kind of a modern girl. So there's also like kind of that criticism of she wasn't quite to Jackie's level because there was not that much of attention to detail, to not having scruffy things or not, you know, perhaps having everything perfectly steamed. But a lot of designers came to her rescue and said, well, it was just her being very of the moment and being a fashion icon of her generation, not Jackie's, where the materials and the silhouettes were quite different, and also she was the first lady, so a little bit different. Jackie also wore a lot of jewelry, and that is something Carolyn did not do at all. I was hard pressed to find and identify pieces that she wore on a regular basis. There was a couple instances where she was wearing a pearl strand necklace, her black Cartier watch, or maybe like a very small, thin gold chain that she wore sometimes. But other than that, you didn't see a lot of bangles or, like statement pieces that the Upper East Siders might have. There was the occasional belt or scarf, not all the time. Now, the other piece that she put on the map was a tortoise headband that I actually just got recently from J. Crew because I couldn't resist. And then of course, just like her signature, like really pale blonde hair that wasn't natural. I think her natural hair color was more like what I have right now, kind of like a reddish dark blonde. He was always very particular about keeping it as light as possible, which looked amazing on her. Moving on to shoes, these are really easy to shop your closet for because not only do we talk about them all the time on my channel, but they're also classic wardrobe staples. They're loafers, slingback heels. She had a huge weakness for flip-flops as far as I can tell, which I'm never going to be on board on, but flip-flops have been so trendy this summer. They really hurt my feet, like probably more than heels, so like I can't wear them. Pumps with a chunky heel, knee-high boots, and then sneakers, of course. One of my favorite kind of like unexpected look of hers is her wearing slingback heels with this floral dress that felt like really unexpected because the floral dress is like white and pink, and then there's black slingback heels, and she's got a black bag. So utilizing the sandwich bag in this instance where she's like bringing the look together, and you saw her doing a lot of that with her bag and her shoes, like matching those two elements, and then kind of like maybe playing around with like the rest of the outfit, even if you wouldn't think they went with the black shoes and the black bag, but everything usually went with her Kelly 40. So I think she would kind of like back the outfit into that, perhaps. In terms of jeans, straight leg and flare were her way to go. Not really any other kind of fuss, but flare leg in particular. I love the look of this with that coat that I mentioned before, that red tweed. It looks so classic. It looks like she's wearing loafers here. And then in terms of tops, basically if it was a black and white top, it was in her closet. From button downs to crew neck t-shirts, turtlenecks, big into that. I also love this really casual look of hers with the crew neck sweater and a button down with a collar sticking up underneath. She's wearing slacks, and then, this is such a preppy outfit, but just to like make it into something iconic in hers, wearing a hat turned backwards, just like, what? Like, so preppy. You would expect it to be finished off with like a completely different kind of accessory, and yet this just feels very fresh. I love the way she used like classic pieces like a white button down, even for galas, like this really fancy look with a black skirt and the white button down. So iconic. I feel like it's been recreated on the red carpet time and time again. And then there was also a couple of moments where we saw her in like a more of like a structured top that felt very deliberate and tailored, and very elegant as well. In terms of bottoms, lots of slip skirts, pencil skirts, and cords. I think there's probably about 5 pictures of her wearing these brown corduroy pants that are in that like bootleg flare silhouette that she wore a lot. It makes sense. New York is really cold. I just know because I'm usually complaining about it on here. And then in terms of dresses, she kept them to very simple shift slip dresses that, again, I think were part of the 90s, part of working at Calvin Klein. Of course, these were often black or white, and we have that one exception with the floral dress that we got to see. In terms of coats, this is where most of her coats were very tailored, in a camel with like double-breasted, or just a very beautiful polished black coat. But we also have this iconic look, which I've showed here numerous times, in her leopard print coat. As we all know, leopard print has been print of the year for 2024 and 2025. So we've seen this inspiration come to life a lot. You might have something like this in your closet already. But I love that even though she didn't like the extravagant, like over the top things, liked a lot of simplicity and streamlined, just to incorporate that leopard print, I think, like ultimate fashionista way of saying like, but I'm also gonna break the rules and wear something fun. Also, the story with that coat is that she ended up giving it to John's assistant at George magazine or something like that, because the woman that she gave the coat to said something along the lines of, I've been photographed in this so much that like people are gonna think I have nothing else to wear, so like, here you go. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a Prada coat. Now there's 3 outfits I want to share with you that are extremely easy to pick out from your closet. The first is this outfit with a white button down, beige or kind of like an off-white trouser, black loafers and a black bag. Who doesn't have these pieces at home? Everybody. Is so simple, so easy to recreate. And then come fall, I cannot wait to wear this. I always say I'm gonna recreate this, but I always forget to find the pencil skirt, a camel pencil skirt, brown knee-high boots, a v-neck black shirt, and a black toe. So classic, timeless. She's literally wearing what appears to be no makeup. It's insane. No earrings, nothing. Crazy. And the third outfit is really simple. It's strappy sandals, very blue straight leg jeans, and a black top, whether that's sleeveless, turtleneck, or a cardigan, whatever black top makes your heart happy, and you have a Carolyn Bessette Kennedy approved outfit. For an elegant capsule where you only need 7 pieces, make sure to watch this video. I'll see you there, and if you had fun with me today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.